Oh, reset. Okay. Every year, I make a video journal right after reset, really for me to remember anything from it because I forget. And then I just figured I'd just post it just in case anyone else gets anything out of it. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here. Um, so it is 5:18 a.m. and I'm in Anchorage, Alaska. And stay with me for a moment here because it's relevant. And I just got back from viewing the Aurora Borealis. I don't know, I paid for some tour that started at like 10 p.m. and then didn't end till like now. Where we just searched for the Aurora Borealis and like watch stars. Right? I did a bunch of stargazing. And it's considered like, one of the greatest things you can see on the planet. Stargazing at reset, better. Better. Why? Playful people. No playful people on this tour. Oh my goodness. Everyone was so obsessed with the result. Everyone was so obsessed with like what photo they could get. Did they get the green in it? This one guy was talking about how like it was an L for him because he didn't get any photos from it. And I was like, we don't use that language at reset. Like, what is that? Meanwhile, when I stargazed on like the Wednesday with a bunch of people at reset, all we did the whole time was just giggle, just belly laughs. I had belly laughs all the whole weekend, but like belly laughs, couldn't stay quiet while we're watching stars. And why were we laughing? Because we were making up fake facts about the stars and coming up with great documentaries about these stars like Fifth Element, starring Bruce Willis. And then at one point, because we were talking so much, Misfit was just like, it would be great if we could just like look at the stars quietly. And everyone was like, nah, we don't do that. And then someone else was just like, that's actually a really good idea. And then we challenged it and it became a game of like who could stay quiet the longest. Like we were kids again, right? And then we were supposed to go for 30 seconds. We went for like 2 minutes because no one wanted a break, right? Freaking reset. Okay? Yeah. Fucking awesome. Yeah, so when people ask me why do I keep coming back, I say there's no other place where it's this many people that are just down to play, that are willing to play for like over 100 hours straight, right? In the world, right? Like I've gone to the World Cup, I've done like other Caminos and other things. I've always been in search of like where the most play is, right? And this is the place where I find the most play, where people are not willing to take themselves too seriously and are just down to try new random stuff. And I think it was Meowme and like Tupperware and a bunch of other people were talking, and they were talking about, well, why is it that we able to connect with people so quickly? Partly it's because of the play, right? Because then you get to see someone's inner child. But they were also saying it's because when you have like no work chat, right, you get deeper quickly, and the funny is usually found in the darkness, right? And we go kind of dark, right? And especially going on right now, and we almost like healing each other by like you with our belly laughs to actually heal one another. The play actually is healing. And that's a huge reason why I keep coming back. Okay, so core memories. Some of my core memories. 260-180-553. That name. Great example of play, right? The game is to remember the name. Some people might be willing to do that play, others might not be. I find it exciting. Can I memorize this name? So then I come up with a jingle with Misfit 260-180-553 with a vibrato. That's fun for me. That's interesting to me. That's just random ridiculousness. Another example of like how weird reset minds are, people, resetters, I guess we call ourselves, is I was at the library, right? The library, got LIE, right? And everyone's reading, and I was like, oh, I want to go journal, but I don't have anything to write on, so I looked around and I found a box, and it happened to be the Twister box, and I walked into the room with my Twister box, and my friends thought I was going to read Twister. I don't know. I was going to read the directions. I was going to find, by the way, Twister, a lot of plot twists in that book. But yeah, they just thought I was going to read. That's how weird their minds are and how weird I am, right? Freaking reset. Another core memory, Specs Talk. I don't know if you met Spec. If you haven't, reach out to him on Slack. Freaking phenomenal. Wanted to do a talk that he's always wanted to do, only has done it once or twice, and was just like, well, I just want to do it for a couple people. He says that to me and 260-180-553, and we were like, no, we're going to make it a thing. And we just started asking random people. When he does it, 25 people show up for him. Freaking magnificent. Inspiring. I'm still thinking about that talk right now. Right? I did at the library also, I did a Ted Lasso reading with Astro and Meow Me, where Meow Me, with the British accent, which always sounds smarter than at least this accent, she narrated while Astro and I read the Ted Lasso pilot script. It was friggin' great memory. Did not plan. None of this planned, right? So much of the stuff that we do at Reset and why we love it so much is because none of it is planned. It's just so random. I mean, there's like, the class, the workshops and whatever, but the magic that happens inside, like, I was freaking dancing in the water and like slapping the water. I don't know what I was doing, but I was into it. I was like in the flow, right? Tutu soccer. Someone rock, paper, scissors their whole way. They won 4 rock, paper, scissors and got it all the way and scored a goal. Score's always 2-2. Love that. Meow Me brought up this point that, like, she's challenged a lot to ask herself today, how can I be useless to capitalism? Freaking reset. Like, not contributing at all. Instead, just like no shareholder value, as Sheila and Gary talk about, right? No maximizing productivity and profits. Just like belly laughs, fun, joy, play, ridiculousness, and being you, or discovering you, or rediscovering your inner child, or rediscovering you. That's what makes Reset so freaking awesome. And, I don't know, some of you might know me in my regular life. In my regular life, I wear this a lot. Why do I wear this a lot? I wear this to remind myself not to take myself so seriously, but I also wear it as like an excuse to others to be like, hey, we can play. Like, you don't have to take this interaction so seriously. At Reset, I don't need that. Everyone already knows that, like, we're down to play. Like, this is what we're doing, right? And I have been now going for like 4 years. So like there is a sobering effect when you've been going for so long because you see patterns and you can't experience those as much because you're not new, like the whole digital detox, being away from your phone, like that stuff's not as new. So we're challenged each and every time to come back and be like, okay, well, what is it that I want to discover about myself that I haven't before through this? And I think this year was like, it wasn't just like I could double down on being me, but I think it was more like stop people pleasing, which I did a much better job for myself in doing that, like set boundaries, and just do the things that you really enjoy doing, regardless of whether or not you should be there or not. And that was really emphasized about like the whole JOMO. So I really JOMO'd this reset. And this is why I love coming back every year. It's just like I get to nerd out with some of the weirdest, strangest, most fascinating people.